Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Of Scribes and Men. We are on to Volume 2. None of these are all brand new. None of these poems have been posted online. You will not find them anywhere else currently except here right now. Like after I do this, yeah, then you will start seeing them posted piecemeal online throughout social media forums and everything. But right now, right here, if you watch this video, you are seeing all of this for the first time. Unlike Volume 1, which was already out because that was the point, Volume 2, you do not get to see anywhere else first except here. So let's get to it. And it's going to have new forms, new everything. This is when I start, like, this is when the experiments start slow snowballing and growing bigger and bigger as the volumes progress. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay. Okay, so yes. This number one, found poetry. All of these are I found basically I took lyrics from online. That doesn't need to be there. And so basically I would go through one song, pick a sentence from the song, place it in. So found poetry, for those who don't understand, is basically people would take clippings from magazines, newspapers, whatever sentences, and they would like sprawl it out, kind of as a way to mock poetry and like the poetic art and all of that. I think that's the theory. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but the modern version of this is essentially me going through a bunch of different songs, collecting their lyrics and splicing them together. So I'd go on Spotify, I'd go on to a playlist, and as soon as something hit, I would create something from it. And this is the first one I have done. The truth is always where the conflict is. Penny for your pain. Curse the one who broke your fragile heart, faced with the new life that has dawned. I won and lost and calculated. I don't need a witness, I'm a mastermind. I'll let you take control. No red roses on your grave, you poor sucker. I caught the dagger by your hand. The future is far, don't take your bow. Until then, here's a drink to our impending doom. Never been one to sit quietly. Smoke and mirrors, never trust what you see. Make a choice, one you won't regret. I'm just a note in your composition. Be careful what you wish for. World gone mad, let's start the show. My card's on the table. So put your money where your mouth is. Come wake me up. So yeah, the thing with found poetry is it often doesn't rhyme, which throws me. But still, you can see the progress as it goes on, and this still, at least to me, hits. Now, this one is a ghazal or ghazal. I'm going to assume it's pronounced ghazal. It is a Persian, Urdu, South, and it's been adopted by Southeast Asian, but it is a Middle Eastern, Persian, Urdu, India, all of that. Highly respective poetry form. When I was like shown it or told about it, I am the type of person who does my best to give it the honor that it is due. It has certain structures that you can go and look up how it works. But basically, the second line is always so this sets up the rhyme scheme. That always has to be the second line all the way down. Wait. Oh, because fire is the misfire. Gotcha. Yeah, this was my first one, so it's not perfect. I get better at the ghazals as I start making more of them. This first one is not perfect, but if you're, from the areas that know about the ghazal, this is my first one. And I did try and pay as much respect as I possibly could when I was writing it. What feelings come in, ocean storm, oh, my heart's fire. They echo loudly like waves within me into a heart's fire. I long for days of valiant plays into an art's desire that left me here without care and forgot the heart's fire. I sought the arrows never shown along the part's lyre. No broken bones or echoes blown into ignite my heart's fire. A soul's aching call to see it through along the rampart's wire, and the wind did blow upon flowers grown into the dart's misfire. That should technically be the dart's heart's fire. I do promise that, even though I kind of screwed up on this one, and I know where I screwed up on this one, I do promise that I get better in the future ones. So, anyways, continuing on. So of scribes and men, wielding pens as the chart supplier, to an end my woes, and then a lover of my heart's fire. This was my first attempt. I think I did good. I don't know. Once it's posted online or once I perform it and people check it out, they can tell me. But I do realize there are mistakes. I have learned from those mistakes. I am continuing to learn from those mistakes. Do not judge me for the first form that I learned. It's similar to Tonka in the sense that Tonka, when I did it, was the first thing. This, too, was the first time I've ever done one of these. So don't judge me too hard for my first attempt. Okay. This one, I believe, is my... Yes, this is freeform. Be wary, lad, for this tale I tell can send bone shivering straight to hell. For when you go and set to sail, the mist will come without a fail. There are eerie things that creep at night, caused a many quite a fright. They follow on the waves you go, and seek to bring you down below. The seas go up, the seas go down, the seas will swallow what's all around. And just when you think you're safe and sound, the seas will spit you on the ground. So as the boats go in and the boats go out, when the waves rise up and the sailors shout, best not be seen with a coward's pout, for the seas make men both tough and stout. To the ocean calls, the ocean cries, for all the men who've gone and died. And when you hear the sirens' lies, we ghosts suggest you run and hide. So cover your ears and cover your mouth. Don't let yourself make things go south. For the dead will come and the dead will rise, with more than a story behind their eyes. Now to close this song I've come to sing, beware the curse the mist will bring. And when you're out at night alone, don't go to the place where the dead drink and groan. So this one is a sea shanty that I did, like an eerie sea shanty, a ghostly sea shanty that I did to the tune. I was listening a lot to the Hearst song, and the Hearst song was playing in my head over and over and over again, and a lot of that made their way into this. And once again, we come about more Cavalins. Seek not to destroy, to peace. Soon paths go converge, cease. Salient winds once blown to shore, sought the falling gold bore. Betwixt the moonlit skies the star, beyond the sighting's eyes afar. Bewildered some come out, now pray, boldly on the rise day. Willful playing in mist, they cry, woeful echoes coming far, lie, windows of hidden souls, the ghost, with glasses raised aplenty, toast. Okay, I did a lot of these Gavelins. Huh. Except up to here. Up to here where I didn't. This is what I'll get to there in a moment. Hats upon soulless men for gain, heels on the statues insane, health fading on inside the wire, heathens and hedonistic dance, pyre. Victory comes to widows, the lost. Vikings to the Valhalla, cost. Valor of the mighty, we drink. Vines of the valley, think. Okay, so this is when I want to be fast with freeform. This is a sample of what I do. Valley of the distant shores, brought upon through many heavy moors, and then they all began to sing around the pyre, and all they bring. Then another haiku. Wistful dreams of men woven among the valley, from stones of their might. Yeah, another free form but short one. You'll see a lot of my poems from here on out, instead of being the long free form ones that you saw in volume 1. You will see a great many be this length, mostly because to make up for time, and because I have to punch out more poems than anyone else in the history of the world right now. Sought among the distant valley, to wakeful shadows in their alley, seated upon false thrones of gold, to whom their bodies and souls have sold. Oh, jolly sailor bold, I'm told, another Cavalian, ocean sought boats ashore, gold, onward adventurers lie still, at will, outside in violent storms, kill. Then we have a haiku. Midnight moon and glow, stillness of hunter's sight, healers call away. Yeah, this is a longer one. For this is another part of my bread and butter. Like, my freeform will either fall into category short or long. You'll come to find that out. Fairy tales around bright pale fire, pastel colors of suspicious desire. To question not what it could see, but to things it dreamed to be. So they flitter and they flutter, to the night skies moan and sudden stutter. Dwell on lights all now hidden, to open the doors that are forbidden. Sought the tales claimed by lust, into honeyed words now trust, as milk pours down among their eyes. Truth now hidden between their lies. Between the hips and thighs that shake. These all will also have titles eventually. Many fall and many quake, illusions draped in silken lies, no one wept for all who now dies. Weakness is not folly to learn, weighed down by struggle, burn. Waste not sudden growth, we try, water soothes and thirst, sigh. By the end of the 10 volumes, there should be enough Cavalins, and then later on Ascendras, where teachers, professors, whoever wants to look at them can study them. They are all scalable because I'm scaling them. Battles of a Forgotten Time, a book. Brave wars suddenly won, shook. Between here and then, the past. Bold the words written last. Sky covered with silk, now heavy upon the earth. Fisherman's treasure. Whispers of sweet dreams, nocturnal stillness descent, defying the sleep. Let not sleep descend to fight. Light flickered now away, fright. Learning from the many we grow, lightning in a bottle, show. Bronze Age tales read, there's more, or read. Bronze Age tales read, there's more. Between the history pages, lore, burned by raging fire in Rome. Books pages continue flipping home. Rhino Beetle War, a children's summer-long game. The horns now do clash. Mischievous laugh heard between the forest trees. Glowing eyes watching. Onward journey, O you samurai, let your honor to not die. To the hubris in the mix, humble yourself for it to fix. Clashing swords, claymore still, they fight. Clear water shining bright, sight. Cornerstone falling down, won't stay. Children on the playground, play. We heard the herald, as the trumpets go resound. All fall to the ground. Hesitation not for eye as we leave, shoulders bare without a covering sleeve. Further on to an embrace and a dare, eyes locked on before a song and stare. Weeping willow tree, swaying among the cool breeze. Graveyard laughs after. Peaceful. Oh, another tanka. This is the first tanka of this series, volume 2. Peaceful spring nap upon the flowers and grass. In nature's circle, the fae now gather around, a soul now lost from their time. Do you remember when Titans... so this is going to be another longer... Yeah, this is... So, like I said before, my general freeform, my long ones are always 4 stanzas long. Do you remember when Titans came down and then spun around like a frightened samba before they began to dance the mamba? Strange times such as these, when dogs walk on hands and men shake their fleas before the summoning of the marching bands. Eerie thoughts when it strikes 2, when a hammer with a hammer, what else for it to do? And idle hands as a honey swarm, where the sun stays cool and the ice stays warm. And so you wake from a fever dream, wondering if all is as it may seem. Worry not, keep it to the back of the mind, for they all like it when we remain blind. Who likes it when who likes it when we remain blind? I'll let you come up with your own theories on that one. Journey of 1,000 steps, kept between the hills where many have tried and failed, and now walk between their pills. This is about it's about insanity. The storm rages on as the siren sings her song through the autumn rain as the mother sings her song to put children to rest. So the siren is the mother singing songs to children to put them to rest. Laughter in the halls where bright wisdom goes to teach when the summer ends as parents now have their break and return to stillness in. Asking questions forever on, the curious, arrival of sudden storms, furious, a dwelling place gone, forever lost as they travel on, cost. So basically, storm came in, destroyed their home, and the cost of that was they had to travel to a different place. Pyre, shining bright in the echoes of the night, let the souls on their flight come into a better sight. The dancers dance and dancers sway through the night, through the day, as more come out to play through the night, through the day. Yeah, so eventually you'll see my forms start getting like more and more you'll see them grow as the volumes progress. To the weak and the weary, to the bored and the dreary, a splash of color, a sparkle of life, in a show with a juggling knife. Music comes with a familiar tune as clowns come out with their balloon. Animals roar from the sound of a tent, with coins from a purse of money well spent. The carnival comes giving people good cheer, as performers look to another good year. With eerie things to worry not, for 'tis not the kind of show they have sought. So with your cotton candy crystal flare, eat the sweet cloud without care. Seek the sights, there's much to see, pick your spot and giggle with glee. I like this one. I really do like this one. This one was one of my fun ones that I really like doing. We toss a coin to the wishing well, where money falls and hope will dwell. Then on our day we go, with nigh a lesson and nothing to show. Yet they laughed and mocked and cried a while, as seasons changed and dust begins to pile, marked not by the lessons learned from the tired and all they earned. Color now faded into black and white, a cog in the system, no hope in sight. Senses dulled by seasons of salt, drowning now at the bottom of a malt. Now who was it that let your fire burn out. Find the joy where you'd sing and shout, for we do not need a world of gray, where colors abound through every day. So this is basically the slog of every day bringing you down, and like people bringing you down and everything bringing you down. And it's basically, where did you lose your sense of wonder, innocence, and play and all of that? Stop that. Let's bring color back into the world. We heard the herald's trumpet sound when the horses come around. Where there's one, then there's four. Weeping now gone deaf, war. So basically, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. That's what this Kevlin's about. Flowers first blooming from the frosted icy tips, life birthed anew. The calming water soothed in nature's now thirst, a relieving sigh. Pillow fights in plenty, how fun! Practice comes with choice, done. Patience in their hiding, a game, prowling on a tree, same. Basically, sleepovers. This is about sleepovers. It's that simple. They all say, sitting on tables before a man walked away, that one must not do with the chairs and all the games the night plays. This was one of my more nonsense poems. On the shores where kings laugh, the wizards came with staff in hand, looked among the smiling fools, and crowned one upon the land. Shallow waters bicker not, many things we have sought. What and then in ways to tease, for a lady smile to whom she please. Rivers ran on to shores, a flood. Rescue a bit late, blood. Rinsing souls washed away, we said, rushing through oceans deep, dead. Test came upon hidden men, songs were sung as they bled. What souls are they for you to keep, for a coward soul as you fled? Blood on the clothing, a knife behind the cutting floor. Wife, burly man was wed, a smile, butcher in his shop, style. We heard the dancing of the bear, who stood on hind legs without a care, merrily although some did mock, before he danced with their sock. So basically, they stopped laughing after certain things happened, and now he wears their socks. Kings and queens laugh like royals, kindness gone and forgotten, boils. Keep all you can, the raid. Kleptomaniac a step ahead. Played. Basically about revolutions and how certain thieves can be a step ahead of everyone. A smell of rainfall, petrichor to the senses, droplets against glass. Okay, this is another found poem. I had to kind of like had to kind of blink on this one. This is a Christian found poem. Can you see the tide begin to change? Sometimes you gotta dance through the darkness. Got this heartbeat in my chest. Write scripture on your heart for when you need it. Water you turned into wine. They say this preacher man comes from Galilee. He placed my feet on solid ground. Your love made a way to let mercy come in. Who could carry that kind of weight? When love broke through, the same God who never fails, there is deep joy that you give to me. I have found hope in your name, Jesus, the name above every other name. I'm living in the light of a new day. By his blood I have been set free. Yeah, this one I was listening to the Daily Mix, and it was like the Christian time period. So yeah, I made a Christian found poetry poem. In the beginning, when there was no light around, God laid himself down. Victory at a price, the cross, veils torn in two, loss. Vain attempt at love, he won, vengeance against our sin, done. Heralds called of prophets past, of a man who would come at last to show the light and be a savior, and help us all with sin's behavior. Temptation and fast, promise things not his to give, Satan put in place. Okay, so this is my second Ghazal, and you should already start to see improvements in this one. Hoist up your passion like valiant men and burn, where weakness is tempered by fires that burn. Evil desires come into the skin, causing concern. Let not yourself fall, but pick up the torch and burn. Love is like love is like the raging fires of Lebanon. You'll learn it can be like soothing waters, but it can also burn. It is not for the faint of heart for the things we must earn, for treasures come, but careful still, for your soul can burn. We wept among the mighty waters coming to return, our hearts alight like cities at night in the fires that burn. So tell me, all you scribes and men, what do you discern upon the annals of history and the passions you burn? So once again, you would start seeing improvement as I start going on with these. And here is my first villanelle. Here is my first villanelle. I felt these words carved into bone upon the wreckage of the shore, for no tyrant leaves the wind alone. You hollow lies that leave none alone, like the perfume of a common whore. I felt these words carved into bone. To the dying light of what had flown, locked in cages beyond their door, for no tyrant leaves the wind alone. Then to echoes of a lustful moan, pages, oh pages, what are they for? I felt these words carved into bone. Hedonistic shrill of a dying king's groan, blood on the streets still crying more, for no tyrant leaves the wind alone. Money to pages, then money to loan, where many who sleep and many snore. I felt these words carved into bone, for no tyrant leaves the wind alone. Yeah, that was my first villanelle I have ever done. You'll start seeing more of these as we go on, but yeah. As you can see, Volume 2 already is starting to develop more range than Volume 1 had. The silence of the shadow, a warning. Swift movement of stillness, morning. Stock locked and loaded, they aim. Shimmering of the sun, flame. Tsunami flooding towns as they all flee in haste, evacuating. As children laugh with their toys and glee with stories they create. So basically, children playing in their bath with a bunch of toys and like, wreckage, water, rah. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Jesters lesson in their mirth, birth of a man's jest, lest they are brought to the hearth, worth of the list that holds the guest. That's going to be my own style. Neon lights flashing, did you read the sign? Don't need no language to tell that you're mine. Speed is a gateway where the exit. Speed is the gateway where the exit's the door. Yet stillness of the ground when you're pinned to the floor. What were you expecting to attract? Did you never think that I might act? When you don't seem so eager to leave, was this what you always wanted to believe? Oh, how you shudder at my silken touch. Don't pretend to be coy when you like it so much. Kissed with the honey like the dew of my lips as you worship my essence while I'm moving my hips. Whoo! This one's a steamy one. This is no drought of it. A hidden love spell. You asked for this when you drank of the well, and now I'm here making your body shudder, with your chest telling me your heart's aflutter. Whew, whew, whew. Gotta calm down. Gotta calm down. Careful where you linger, and then came to feel temptation when, carousel of forgotten men, now broken, casualties of malicious action spoken. Silence of the still, empty streets that fade away, dawning to the day as the dancer pays no mind to the attention around. Wisps of fluttering, white clouds floating through the sky as the lovers sigh. Aha! And then here's my second villanelle. Here's my second villanelle. Here's my second villanelle. Would you face the new day as you stand on the hill to have the final last say? In the places where children play, if your heart is alive or still, would you face the new day? What emotions would you betray for you to have your way and fill to have the final last say? Many words the wise men would say, where caution is thrown out at will, would you face the new day? No cause for reason or delay, guise of the fool for a mere thrill to have the final last say. The games we all echo and will play of machinations to settle the bill, would you face the new day to have the final last say? Yeah, so these are more modern villanelles. I'm not following the iambic pentameter that classic villanelles do. That would require me to sit down with more time than I actually have. Eventually, you will see me with one of these. One of the classic villanelles, but right now I'm doing more of the modern take of them. Upon the shore, don't seek the mist, where the dead weep and groan. Hid among the reaper's list, forgotten was their throne. Eternity lost in ambition, a while. Ethereal ghosts and lights beguile. Echoes of the time, a song, embers that came along, belong. Do you feel the music move down to your bone, down to your groove, thumping of the beat you leave your seat, giving your body a symphonic treat? It's about dancing to a groove, obviously. Fell into water, the splash of a mirthful sound. Kappa, play around. Minds that seek attention, the vain, marking bodies in perfume, disdain, mingling in their skin like honey, meek giving into lust, money. You should know what that one's about. The crying of a banshee scream, turn and go, run away, for this is no sudden haunting, death will come the next day. A mushroom circle in its perfect symmetry. Do not stick around. Do you feel it creep up the skin like slimy waste? No need to hurry in its slow haste. Wiggle and jiggle here and there. Wiggle and jiggle without care. That eerie feeling that seeps into skin and bone. Suspicion of presence no longer alone. Crawl up, wiggling and jiggling on your body, wiggling and jiggling. You scratch and jump and look around. Nothing in the sky, nothing on the ground. But it's wiggling and jiggling over there. Yes, it's wiggling and jiggling without care. Is what you fear most a ghost holding your body as its host? No, but it's still wiggling and jiggling. Yes, it's still wiggling and jiggling. What it was you cannot say confuses you as it left one day. No longer wiggling in its place, no more jiggling with a trace. So on your day you come and go. Don't know what to say, don't know what to show. Yet the memory it will remain, wiggling and jiggling in your brain. You know that sensation that you get that like there's something like crawling on your skin and you can't get going, so you just like wiggling and jiggling, you can't let go of it until it just like disappears in one moment and you don't know how to express it. Yeah, that's what this is about. Testify, end of day, they play, theatrics of the many, betray, thoughts of past philosophy, to law, time came and went, flaw. Come into the forest and play, mind not the smiles of glee, for we have fun things to do with you beyond the tree. Hollow graveyard stone, among the broken alone, paths that never show. Swaying flower tree, to nature's musical song, symphony of life. Rainfall upon fire, to nurture the land and sea, so life begins anew. Stay a while, let my appearance of style beguile. You who seek a full body show, ignore the hidden bump and pile. Would hate where one would have to go. Finding a sudden path, the woods, filled with shadow men, hoods. Fail to go, run, you're done. Fell into the trap, begun. Nighttime thoughts in call, echo in morning moonlit fall, the tides of artists. Music marching bands parade for hours, many hands that play, towers, marking on downtown streets the art, mastery seen by few, start. Daydreams of nighttime ballads, echoing the distant song, following to a place of their belonging as they all move along. Speed written along the wire, they never stood their chance, as passion consumed with fire, watching for a lady's glance. Monsoon season comes, graces the land with showers, the cold rain at hand. Honor in where honor's due, to the face that lies and holds true. Yet there are things we cannot win, where Jesus comes to cleanse our sin. Fires fade quickly to the campers that follow, walking up the path to face their tests of courage and come out a stronger man. Are you, and once again, this is another one of my typical longer form, free-form poems. Are you among the weary of the wake who deny sleep for artist's sake to paint, draw, and write just one more before you enter your bedroom door? The dreams of sleep seep into life, cutting our rest like a razor knife, weaving the clouds as it drags down to lace us up in its nightgown. Yet for others still a duty to hold where supernatural tales are told. And so some face that witching hour that some claim holds their power. Superstitious tales that come alive at night creep into the bones to become reality's fright, draining away a semblance of life created, prowling around for it to be satiated. Gotta. I've almost drank my entire water. Okay, wow. I crept around a while. The creature, ilk of its kind, feature, issue of multiple decrees from kings, into the shadowy depths brings. Gaze not upon it, it peers, green as its power fears, gently into holding hands to feed, growing now upon the land, seed. The song of midnight, singing gently down around. Silence of the owls. Stillness of the grass, gentle ways was its prowling. Creatures stalks its prey. They say the moon laughed at the sun's display, for although many could not see, it watched what went on each day. There were fires in the wood that night, burning high and burning bright, hearing all that woeful cry, where life is taken to burn and die. Feeding until still upon, okay. We're on the Ascendra. Okay, so, how the Ascendra works is that it is a monorhythmic climbing poem. What does that mean? Okay, so, it needs a minimum of 4 lines, but it can go on as long as you're able to make it go on, but always a minimum of 4. So the way it starts, in what I mean by climbing, is that it starts with 3 words, then it goes to 4 words, then it goes to 5 words, then it goes to 6 words. And then from there, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. And it all has to tie in, resolve, accumulate, climax. It all has to tie in with the rest of the poem, so it can't just go off and be its own thing. It all needs to tie into the whole structure of the poem. And so it is a monorhyme, and the thing with the rhyme is that if you use the rhyme, so for example, still, now I can't use this anymore at the end of the like this particular line at the end of the poem anymore. Fill, once again, can't use the word fill. If it's something that is like windowsill, and if it was just like you get out the window, it's just the sill, you could use sill, but you can't use windowsill, right? So if you've used the rhyme before at the end, you cannot use that rhyme again at the end. And if you want to challenge yourself, you would basically never use whatever rhyming word you have at the end, which is going to be a lot more difficult in English than it is in other languages, which are probably going to be able to make longer forms of these poems. But basically, you go on as far as you can, starting with 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. And it always has a minimum of 4. And the last line has to tie everything together. That is how the Ascendra works. And it is so it starts easy, but it gets harder as you climb, much like climbing a mountain. The base of the mountain is easy. Getting closer to the top is harder. And that's why it's called the Ascendra, because you're ascending. So it's a poetry of ascent, but with monorhyme, that you can't use the rhyme again at the end of the poem, or if you want to challenge yourself, anywhere else in the poem. So, this is how it goes. Feeding until still upon its new kill, when it had its fill as we watch from the window sill. 3, 4, 5, 6. Monorhyme. And it ties in. And then I'm going to do another one. Waiting a while, gathering a new style, going now the extra mile to put another into the file. Once again, ties in. So like doing the quatrain, like a quatrain version of this, or a 4-line version of this, is easy. 4 lines is easy. You can punch them out quickly. That's not the issue. The issue starts coming when it's like 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines, 8 lines, 9 lines, 10 lines, 11 lines. In which case you'd be like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 words. Like basically the words that have to be there grow the further you go. And I'll have like in later volumes I'll show longer versions of these that I personally have done as a creator of it, but I just needed something like quick and fast and all that, and I was tired, and so this one worked for me. And yeah, this is how the Ascendra works. I know I said Ascendra in one of my shorts and whatever, but it's technically supposed to be the Ascendra. Count the words, not the cost, for some will be found and some will be lost, even though it becomes an obsession when we gather into our possession. How many with bleary eyes, would continue forward towards the prize, or would they simply stop and rest at the spot where they think it best? And then, yeah, I end this with an Ascendra. Into the fire with obsession and desire. I end this all with Ascendras. Into the fire with obsession and desire, to go a place higher to witness that which came prior. Stoke the flame, it's not to tame, to never be the same, to elevate into stature and fame. And that has been Volume 2. I will see you guys tomorrow for Volume 3 and 4. Maybe more.